The DOJ has flatly violated the law. Call the Attorney General's office, 202-514-2101, and say, Fox News has been informed that the same redaction standards applied to the victims has been applied to politically exposed individuals and government officials. One of these individuals is Ivanka Trump. This is a crime. This violates Section 2B1 of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. No record shall be withheld, delayed, or redacted on the basis of embarrassment, reputational harm, or political sensitivity, including to any government official, public figure, or foreign dignitary. It is your responsibility to report this violation of the law. Follow your oath. Well, guys, you all know what to do. You know exactly what to do. Anytime you watch one of my chaotic good videos, there's always a call to action like this. Also, a fun little tidbit, a little extra note, there is a way, at least as of recording this video, that you can actually unredact the videos. I'll put a little clip and the name of the channel that showed how to do this, but you can basically copy and paste the files and unredact them yourself. So if you want to know what's in those files, you can find out, and there are already people working on archiving them. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today, we are going to be returning to r/chaoticgood, a subreddit dedicated to people doing the right thing, doing good things, doing the Lord's work, as it were, but not necessarily in the ways that you would typically think follow the law or typically think follow the regular standards of lawful good. Before we begin, I just wanted to quickly mention that YouTube members and patrons, you guys get an extra video every single week for as low as £1 a month. That equates to about 25p per video. So if that is something that interests you, please do consider joining, as it really helps support the channel, and you get quite a big backlog of content to watch through at this point, so I definitely think it's worth it if you would like to do that. However, by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. Right, let's get into the subreddit, shall we? Minneapolis police chief warns officers, stop unlawful force by ICE or lose your job. Chief Brian O'Hara says he'll fire city police officers if they don't intervene when immigration agents use unlawful force. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara issued a stern warning on his officers on Thursday. Intervene when you see immigration and customs enforcement agents using unlawful force or lose your job. If unlawful force is being used by any law enforcement officer against any person in this city and one of our officers that is there, absolutely I expect them to intervene or they'll be fired, O'Hara said when asked how his officers should respond to excessive force by ICE agents. As they should. Absolutely. This should just be the standard. This should be the standard of all law enforcement of all kinds. If you see someone from law enforcement of any kind using illegal force, unlawful force, and you are a member of law enforcement, it should be your duty to stop them. It is your duty as law enforcement to stop people committing crimes. So whether they are a police officer or a law officer or not, if they're using unlawful force, that's unlawful. You should have to stop them. No sleep for ICE. Inside the protest movement, keeping immigration agents awake at night. When agents with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, finish a long day of raids and arrests in a new city, they usually retreat to a mid-scale hotel to rest, recuperate, and prepare to do it all again. But across the country, activists hoping to disrupt the Trump administration's immigration crackdown are stepping in to ensure that those agents do not sleep. These noisy protests outside hotels where agents are staying have become a key tactic of anti-ICE activists. Immigrant families aren't sleeping well right now either. Megan Newcomb, a 33-year-old Minneapolis resident and one of the organizers of a hotel demonstration in her home city last week, tells Time, "If people staying at these hotels experience the anger and frustration of our community, maybe they can empathize and support impacted communities." I love this. Not only because, yeah, it's a somewhat harmless protest against ICE people. You're not doing them any physical harm, right? You're just keeping them awake at night after they do their horrific acts. But they're going to be working less functionally. They're not going to be as efficient at, cracking down on immigrant communities and destroying families if they're sleep deprived. I actually have my own suggestion to add to this. If you are going to be partaking in any, no sleep for ICE protests, and you want a tool, a very specific tool that would be a pretty effective tool for preventing sleep. There are these speakers called bone conduction or surface conduction speakers. The ones with adhesive especially are the best. Basically, the way these speakers work is you put them on any surface and they vibrate that surface and turn it into a speaker. The best use for these, the way they work, the very best, is to stick them to a window so it turns the entire window into a speaker. And they can go pretty loud. So if you are able to access an ICE officer's window, stick one of these conduction speakers to their window, and you will just turn their entire room into a speaker. You will just blast whatever you want through that agent's room. So if you really want to stop them sleeping, that would be the most efficient way, I think. White supremacist dating platform hacked and deleted, live on Stage Chaos Communication Congress. Now, I'm going to fast forward this video because it's somewhat long and you'll get the vibe, but essentially, by the end of this video, they have changed the admin passwords for the website. Then they have deleted multiple parts of it, deleted the server, deleted the file system, they've deleted the database, they've deleted backups, they've deleted, sent deletion requests to Odyssey for White Date, deleted the Twitter account for it, deleted Substack accounts for it, deleted admin email accounts. They completely deleted and wiped absolutely everything that you could possibly delete or wipe in relation to this white supremacist dating site. Hell yeah. There's something about hackers that always seem to just be like, when you see massive hacker organizations doing events like this, they're always anti-white supremacy, you know, they're anti-fascist, all of these things, you know. You regularly see them opposing countries like Russia. And obviously, you know, not all hackers are going to be like that, but the hackers that are opposing white supremacy and, you know, alt-right terrorism and fascism and all of those kinds of things, I fully support those hackers that are working towards just bringing down shit that those people try and use, you know, bringing down a white supremacy dating site. A former South Park writer got a hold of this domain before the government could, because it's a fucking clown car. TrumpKennedyCenter.org, a J. Trump 13-year-old girl. And I took a little quote from it as well. "We welcome you. Welcome to TrumpKennedyCenter.org, a national cultural center dedicated to legacy, loyalty, and careful presentation of history. Here, tradition is preserved, narratives are curated, and performances are elevated beyond mere art. What is remembered matters. What is omitted matters more. We invite you to experience culture as authority, pageantry as truth, and excellence as defined by those in power." Now, sadly, any irony or humor or, you know, nuance is going to be completely lost on the Republicans who would find this website. It's sad to say, but this is hilarious and funny, and yeah, unfortunately, just going to be completely wasted upon the people that would think that this is a real website. Right, we have a video here, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I am going to play up until a quote that just really hits hard, you know, really hits hard. So,
thank you to our MC, Gianmarco Soresi.
I'll be honest, I'm a little flustered. Backstage, I met Zoran for the first time in person. And this might be somewhat ageist for me to say. It's just so nice to support a politician that's too young to have been friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
God, what a line. What a fucking line. It's so nice to support a politician that's too young to have been friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Truer words were never spoken. Good God. It has been a long time since as young as Zoran Mamdani has, like, had the push and the support that he has. Like, it is nice to see that. Someone that not only is younger, generally meaning that they're going to be a little more down to earth and understand what is going on in the world currently a bit better, but yeah, like, he's too young to have been friends with Epstein. Like, it's nice, it's a nice one. Well, we appreciate that. Thieves dressed as Santa and his elves steal $3,000 worth of goods from Montreal grocery store. Group claims responsibility for Robin Hood style grocery store theft. So these thieves broke into this grocery store, stole $3,000 worth of goods, and distributed them among needy communities, you know, the homeless, etc. I love that. I think that's amazing. That's so good. You think about how old, you know, at this point, the mythology of Robin Hood is, and he's kind of always regarded as like a good guy, a guy doing good work among pretty much everybody apart from rich people and the bootlickers that support those rich people, right? He's pretty much considered a hero among all of them. So it's nice to see some people using his inspiration and becoming heroes just like him.
Are you familiar with the Proud Boys? I'm familiar with the name, yeah, Proud Boys.
Okay. Does the FBI still designate the Proud Boys as an extremist organization? They did in 2018 in President Trump's first term.
We are in the process right now of changing our categories for domestic terrorism.
So they're no longer designated as an extremist organization. The FBI designated them an extremist organization in 2018. Has that changed?
I'm not aware that they did that.
It's all over the media, sir. It's widely reported. Can you get back to me on that?
Sure will.
All right, thank you.
What is even the fucking point of these kinds of interviews? What is even the point of having an interview with, with congressmen, with people relating to the FBI, with anybody in politics? If you can ask them a question like, is a previously declared terrorist organization still classified as a terrorist organization by the FBI? And for them to just go, I didn't know they did that. I don't know. Like, they're just allowed to just deflect, lie, or not answer the question. What's even the fucking point? What is the point of these interviews if they can just be like, nah, I'm just not going to answer that. I'm just not going to answer your question about whether we, the FBI, still consider a white terrorist organization as a terrorist organization. Because let's be honest, they don't. That's basically what he just said. He basically just said, nah, we're changing the definition so we can basically decide that a white power, white supremacist terrorist organization, they're not terrorists, no. But like people protesting on the street, people like peaceful protesting, now those are terrorists. We'll declare those as terrorists. That's basically what they're doing. US Capitol unveils statue of teen civil rights icon Barbara Rose Johns taking Robert E. Lee's spot. The US Capitol on Tuesday began displaying a statue of teenaged Barbara Rose Johns as she protested poor conditions at her segregated Virginia high school, a point replacement for the statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee that was removed several years ago. You know, I am all for tearing down Confederate statues. I'm all for tearing down statues of racists, of fascists, of horrible, horrible people. Any statue of a horrible, evil person, rip that shit down, and yeah, replace it with people that fought for civil rights. Replace it for people that worked to improve their communities. Absolutely all for that, fully support that. That goes for any country. That goes for the UK as well. We've still got statues of shitty people in the UK. We should rip them all fucking down. Man accused of illegally towing ICE vehicle during raid found not guilty. A South Los Angeles tow truck driver has been found not guilty of federal charges after being accused of towing a government vehicle used by ICE during an immigration arrest earlier this year. Bobby Nunez, 33, was charged with theft of government property and faced up to 10 years in prison before a jury found him not guilty on Friday. In the statement, the U.S. Attorney Office said, "The trial lasted 4 days. The jury deliberated for more than 3 hours. We have no further comment." I love this. I love that this man saw a woman being arrested by ICE, saw that was going on, and went, I know what I must do. He had a tow truck and he was like, I know what I must do. There's a few extra details that aren't in this news article that I'll talk about. That was, one, he only towed it like a block away and then left it there. Like, they were able to find it apparently in less than 15 minutes. But two, ICE left the keys in the truck. The keys to the truck were in the truck, along with a gun in a safe. But yeah, because he didn't steal the vehicle and he dropped it off less than 15 minutes away, they were able to get it back. The charges were dropped. He saw someone that needed helping against an organization that uses illegal force against citizens regularly and went, I know what I must do. I know what I must do. I love that. I love that for him so much. And the fact that charges were dropped as well, I love that for him so much. This is the kind of energy that we need to be bringing to these kinds of things. But that is where I'm going to end the video. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. But a huge, massive special thank you to all of the wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me. All of your names are up on screen right now, and it genuinely helps so much, and it genuinely means so much. So thank you to everybody that does. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.